Hello, everyone! In this lecture, I'm going to explain line by line another beautiful sonnet by William Shakespeare, Sonnet 104. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more literary explanations. Well, let me first tell you the background of it. Then understanding will be a piece of cake for you. Actually, in this sonnet, Shakespeare is reflecting on the passage of time and the unchanging beauty of his beloved friend. Even though the world and seasons have moved forward and years have passed, he feels that his friend looks exactly as he did when they first met. But he also acknowledges that time still moves silently, like the hand of a clock, and beauty is slowly fading, even if we can't notice it right away. The sonnet ends with a powerful idea that true beauty reached its peak before future generations were even born. Now let's begin the line-by-line analysis. To me, fair friend, you never can be old. This is how Shakespeare opens the sonnet, by directly addressing his beloved friend. He calls him fair friend, which means a beautiful or handsome friend, and he declares that this friend can never seem old to him. The phrase, you never can be old, shows that, in Shakespeare's eyes, this person's beauty and youth are so strong that time has no effect. He always appears just as young and fresh as he was in the beginning. Are you getting the point? Simply, he is telling his handsome fair youth that he never appear to him old. And then says, for as you were when first your eye I eyed. Here, Shakespeare is saying that his friend looks just the same as when they first met. The phrase, when first your eye I eyed, is a poetic way of saying the first time I saw your eyes. So in simple terms, you look the same to me now as you did when I first laid eyes on you. Are you getting the point? Actually, he's emphasizing that his friend's beauty hasn't changed in all this time, at least from his perspective. To put it simple, it means that he is addressing his fair youth and saying that he was as handsome as he first met him. And then says, such seems your beauty still, 3 winters cold. He continues from the previous thought. He says, such seems your beauty still, meaning, your beauty still looks the same to me as it did before. The word still here means even now or unchanged over time. So he's saying that even after time has passed, his friend's beauty appears just as fresh, youthful, and unchanged as when he first saw it. Then he begins to introduce the idea of time with 3 winters cold. Here, Shakespeare refers to 3 full years, using winters to symbolize the harsh passage of time. Winter often stands for aging or decay in poetry. So he's saying, even though 3 cold winters have passed, your beauty still seems the same. Are you getting the point? Have from the forests shook 3 summers' pride? It means that over the past 3 years, the cold winters have shaken away the beauty of summer from the forests. The phrase 3 summers' pride refers to the rich, green leaves and full beauty that trees have during summer. The word pride here means the best or most beautiful part of summer, like its flowers, warmth, and life. The phrase shook from the forests means that winter winds have caused the trees to lose their leaves, just as they do every year when autumn and winter arrive. So, Shakespeare is using a picture from nature to say, in these 3 years, I've seen summer's beauty come and go as cold winters strip the trees bare. He's showing how time causes change and decay in nature, even to something as beautiful as summer. But this is important because he is about to say that, unlike nature, his friend's beauty hasn't changed at all, and that's what surprises him so much. 3 beauteous springs to yellow autumn turned. Here, Shakespeare continues to show how time has passed by, referring to the cycle of seasons. The word beauteous means beautiful, and springs are the seasons known for new life, flowers, and freshness. He says that 3 beautiful spring seasons have each turned into yellow autumn, which represents the time when leaves turn yellow and fall and nature begins to fade. So in simple terms, he's saying, I've seen 3 lovely springs change into autumns. The word turned means have changed into. This line emphasizes how time moves on and everything in nature ages and fades. It adds to the idea that Even though the seasons change every year and beauty fades in nature, his friend's beauty has not changed at all. That's what makes it so unusual and wonderful, because unlike nature, the friend seems untouched by time. In process of the seasons have I seen, this line sums up the last few. It means that he has watched the natural flow of time through the changing of the seasons. The word process here means the ongoing, natural movement or progression, like how one season turns into the next, spring to summer, summer to autumn, and so on. So in simple words, he is saying, I have seen time pass through the changing of the seasons. This line connects with the previous ones, where he mentioned 3 springs, turning into autumns and winters, shaking summer's beauty. He's using nature as a way to show how clearly time moves and how things in the world age and change. It's part of his bigger point. Even though he has seen the world change over time, his friend's beauty has remained the same, which seems almost magical or timeless in comparison. 3 April perfumes and 3 hot Junies burned. In this line, Shakespeare continues to show how time has passed and how nature changes with it. 3 April perfumes refers to the sweet, fresh scents of flowers and blossoms that bloom in April, which is springtime. The word perfumes is used poetically to mean pleasant smells of flowers. Then he says that these perfumes were burned in 3 hot Junes. This means that the gentle freshness of spring has been burned away or withered by the heat of June, which represents the start of summer. So in simpler words, he's saying, I've seen the soft, sweet smells of April flowers dried up or burned by the heat of summer for 3 years. This is another way Shakespeare shows that time changes everything in nature. Flowers bloom, then fade. Beauty comes, then goes. But he's building toward the idea that his friend's beauty does not follow this. Natural fading, it stays constant, unlike the world around him. Since first I saw you fresh, which yet are green. In this line, Shakespeare is saying that from the first time he saw his friend looking fresh and youthful, he still looks just as green, which means young, lively, and full of life. The word fresh refers to a sense of youthfulness and beauty, and green is a poetic way of saying still, young or not aged, just like green leaves are, new and full of life. So in very simple words, he's saying, since the day I first saw you looking young and full of life, you still look that way now, you haven't aged. This line supports the main idea of the sonnet. Although time has clearly passed, as shown in the changing seasons, his friend's beauty has stayed the same, untouched by time. It's as if time has no effect on them, which makes their youthful appearance seem almost magical or eternal. Ah, yet doth beauty like a dial hand. Now the tone begins to shift slightly. In this line, Shakespeare begins to question whether beauty really does stay the same. He says, ah, yet doth beauty like a dial hand, which means maybe beauty does change slowly like the hand of a clock. The word dial hand refers to the hand of a clock or sundial, a device that tells time by the position of a shadow or a moving pointer. Shakespeare is comparing beauty to this slow-moving clock hand to suggest that, although beauty might appear unchanged at first glance, it does slowly move or fade over time, just like the hand of a clock moves so slowly you hardly notice it. In simple words, he's saying, maybe beauty does fade, but so slowly that we don't notice it right away. Just like how you can't see a clock hand moving unless you really pay attention. This line introduces a thoughtful moment where Shakespeare wonders whether time might secretly be affecting his friend's beauty after all, even if it's hard to see. Steal from his figure and no pace perceived. In this line, Shakespeare continues the comparison from the previous line, where he likened beauty to a clock hand. He says beauty steals from his figure and no pace perceived, which means that time slowly takes away beauty from a person's appearance, but it happens so gradually that we don't notice it happening. The phrase steal from his figure means that beauty is being silently taken away from the person's body or form, like a thief, quietly and without drawing attention. And no pace perceived means that the movement is so slow it cannot be seen or felt. So in simple words, Shakespeare is saying beauty fades so slowly that we don't even realize it's disappearing. It's like time is quietly stealing youth and beauty little by little, but so gently that no one notices the change as it happens. This idea adds a thoughtful, even slightly sad, tone to the poem as he reflects on how time works in silence. So your sweet hue, which methinks still doth stand. Here the poet continues talking about how his friend's beauty appears unchanged over time. He says, so your sweet hue, which methinks still doth stand, meaning your lovely color or appearance still seems the same to me. The word hue means color or outward appearance, often referring to someone's skin tone or overall beauty. The phrase methinks is an old way of saying it seems to me. Ian still doth stand means still remains unchanged. So in very simple words, Shakespeare is saying, your beautiful appearance still seems unchanged to me. He's expressing admiration, almost surprise, that even after the passage of time, his friend looks just as fresh and lovely as when they first met. However, given the previous lines, there's a hint of doubt. Maybe time is working secretly. But from what Shakespeare can see, nothing has changed. Hath motion, and mine eye may be deceived. It means that he admits that although his friend's beauty seems unchanged, it might actually be slowly changing, just like the clock hand mentioned earlier. He says hath motion, which means it is moving or it is changing. So he's saying that his friend's appearance might actually be aging, even though it looks the same to him. The phrase mine eye may be deceived means my eyes might be tricking me. In other words, you can say, he realizes that his senses might not be telling him the truth. Maybe the beauty hasn't stayed the same, but the change is so slow and subtle that he hasn't noticed. So in the simplest words, he says, your looks may be changing slowly, and maybe I just can't see it. It shows his awareness that time affects everyone, even those who seem unchanged, and that appearances can be deceptive. For fear of which, hear this, thou age unbred. This line is now addressed to future generations, the people who have not been born yet. Simply, you can say that he is addressing future generation. The phrase for fear of which, it means because I'm afraid that my eyes might be wrong, or since I fear time may be changing you slowly without me noticing. Then he says, hear this, thou age unbred, which means listen to me, you future age that hasn't been born yet. The word thou is an old way of saying you, and unbred means not yet born. So in simple terms, he is saying, because I'm afraid I might not see the changes in you, I'm leaving this message for future generations. This line prepares the reader for the powerful conclusion that follows, where Shakespeare declares a bold truth about beauty and time, making sure it's preserved in writing for the future. Ere you were born was beauty's summer dead. In this powerful closing line, Shakespeare tells future generations that true beauty was already gone before they were even born. The word ere means before, and beauty's summer is a poetic way of saying the peak or prime of beauty, like the summer is the warmest and most vibrant season. So Shakespeare is saying that his friend's beauty was the height of perfection, and when that beauty fades, true beauty itself will be dead. In simple words, you can say the poet says, before you were even born, the most beautiful time had already ended because my friend's beauty was the peak, and nothing after that will match it. This is Shakespeare's way of honoring his beloved friend's unmatched beauty, suggesting that no future generation will ever see anything as perfect again. It also shows his fear that time and aging will eventually steal that beauty, but he's immortalizing it through his poetry. If you enjoyed this lecture, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more Shakespearean sonnets and literary breakdowns. Thanks so much for watching.